Now each series sort of has these, super monsters which are powerful and kind of the protagonists owe their strength to them. And in Yu-Gi-Oh! The first series, we have the Egyptian god cards, Slifer the Sky Dragon, the Winged Dragon of Ra, and Obelisk the Tormentor. Now each Egyptian god is based off a different, Egyptian god, except for Obelisk. Slifer is based off Osiris. In fact, the original name is Osiris the Sky Dragon. And Winged Dragon of Ra is, of course, based on, Ra. While Obelisk is just based off, Egyptian obelisk, which is a structure said to be connected to the gods. Now, these Egyptian gods were interesting because originally they belonged to different people, and it was supposed to be like a clash between them until the powers all united at the end of the series, and they were ultimately, defeated. Now, in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the main powerful force is Yubel, or at least in the later part of the series. Now, I don't know what I could say with Yubel, because her character, her opposite sides of the character are never really explored that well. And because of that, it's kind of hard to really describe her. But she was kind of the, how can I put this? She was the force in which she wanted Jade for herself. And from what I know, she was the source of the Supreme King's power, and she was the main antagonist during Season 3. But ultimately, she and Jaden combine, and Yubel becomes a card in Jaden's deck, which ultimately kind of works to the advantage. And it also kind of gives some good viewpoints on a monster being a monster spirit, and which monster spirits are critical in the GX story. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, you have the Signer Dragons. Now each dragon sort of, was based on, depending on what the character's theme was. And now each dragon was supposed to be a servant of the Crimson Dragon, and they helped vanquish a dark evil known as the Earthbound Gods. And what made these characters, dragons, interesting is because each one was, while they were kind of one, each one was also unique in a sense. They didn't have no individual one was alike, and they kind of, when put together, they sort of, were the combined forces of them all, which made this interesting because it opened plenty of combines for whatever the characters may need in the situation. Another interesting thing was, that's all I can say actually. There's not much else to say.